attractive than a heavy praying woman. To a him when those in them been deaf.
What up? Hey. So, as you guys know, I get on here every day to talk about God in support of Teenie Church. So, Teenie Church is a church that's just for teenagers. It is a ministry and a concept that God gave me for a way for him to connect with teenagers. So I have taken this on, and we are building. We have a small team. The small team is me, my mom, the Holy Spirit, and my homies who are building this ministry. So I'm excited. I'm glad that we have a small team because you can really see how God is moving in real time. So yeah, I haven't been posting like 5 or 6 days. So anytime I don't post, it's not because I'm not sick. It's not because I'm sick. It's not because I don't feel good or my hair is acting kind of crazy. It is literally because posting and talking about God online every day, people are contacting me. So I've been having meetings with different ministry partners, different business owners who are very interested in what I'm doing. And what's funny, I really don't have a strategy. I have no strategy with this. I don't have no posting timeline. I just get online, post about God, share my information, and people have been contacting me. So it's just the goodness of God. That just goes to show you, like, ministry girlies, or ministry men. I got to come up with a cute name for men in ministry. Just start using the resources that you have and God will guide you. So I don't have a big platform. I don't have a lot of capital for this. I'm just talking about God every day and letting him lead the path. So a little bit about Teenie Church. We are birthed from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm a girl from the Ville. Even though I've been living in Raleigh since 2019, I moved out of Fayetteville in 2018. So I've been out of Fayetteville going on almost 8 years. But that's where I'm from. That's where I grew up. I was born in Jersey, but I'm a Fayetteville girl. So straight for the Ville. So that's the headquarters. Everything is always going to come through there before anything is launched out from any other area in the world. Because I have people from different states that want me to set up Teenie Church. So Fayetteville is going to be the launch pad. So I'm not doing anything in any other state unless God clears it. It's going through Fayetteville, North Carolina first, because those are the children that he's trying to encounter specifically in the 28314 zip code. So that's what me and God have been working on. With working on Teenie Church, the opportunity opened for me to set up Teenie Church in Enugu State, Nigeria. So I'm very, very excited about this. With our Nigerian project. So what I did, I wrote a workbook called God Sees You. Let me show you. It's so cute. I designed this workbook for God. So this workbook was really designed just for my kids in Nigeria. I wrote it with an orphan's perspective because I wanted to write it from an orphan perspective. I wanted kids to find out who God is that way. Sometimes it's hard to follow and believe a God that you don't know, a God that you don't know cares about you, or a God that even knows who you are. So I wrote it in that perspective. So this book was really designed for my kids in Africa, but I wanted to make it available to everyone, of course. So I have it on Amazon. It's $10, and each one that you purchase, one book goes to another child in Nigeria. So it kind of comes from that kind of perspective. It's kind of written to do like a 12-month devotional. But I will say, and I tell my ministry girlies, write a book. Because even if it's just like, I want to write a book for my kids, I want them to learn about God. Write the book, because what happens when you start writing about God, God is going to show up. So some of the ideas that came in the book was all God, especially towards the end when it talks about the Holy Spirit, when it talks about this, it talks about that. That was really God instructing me throughout the book. So it's super cute. So someone sent me a picture from a parent. No, I'm sorry. A parent sent me a picture of their child reading God Sees You, a sick child. It's a child in the hospital. So I said, you know what? When I saw that, everybody knows how I feel about the doctor, medical, the whole health system. I can talk your whole head off. It is corrupt in America. When I saw that, I said, I'm going to write a book for children in the hospital. So I have another workbook coming that children can work through their healing and learning about God and healing on their own level in the hospital. So after I wrote God Sees You, because it's written in like an orphan perspective, anybody can pick up on it and like God is going to show up. I wanted to write something for teenagers in the Ville. I wanted to write something where God can come through for them. So my other workbook that is going to be finished by the end of this week is called Middle Child. That's what I'm working on now. Middle Child focuses on anxiety and depression. So it's a super cute book, but baby, this is a tough book, honey, because I used to struggle with anxiety and depression from the age of 11 to 25. So for 14 years, I struggled with something I couldn't see. So with writing this book, well, I will say this, anxiety and depression, I struggled with from 11 to 25. So for 14 years. When I turned 25, I worked through the depression, well, anxiety and depression. They're kind of like two twin sisters. But I worked through it with God when I was like 23. So for 2 years, I took my mental wholeness and emotional well-being very, very seriously. So for 2 years, I fought for my well-being. I made a decision, I just set this in the air. I don't know why, but I said by 25, I'm no longer going to be feeling this heaviness, this darkness. I just could not shake. When I turned 25, it was gone. I never struggled with depression. The anxiety piece was still there because I got into real estate full time. I did it part time, but when I turned 25, I was able to get into it full time. So from 25 to like 31, I still had the anxiety piece there, but I knew how to kind of maneuver through it. With God. I used to have really, really bad anxiety attacks. And especially, so when I got sick and I got on my healing journey, I kicked anxiety to the curb because I'm not about to be believing God for my healing and I'm having anxiety attacks. So I used to fight and war with that. So I am anxiety and depression free. I do not struggle with that. These are not emotions that I struggle with. I know how to fight through it, and I know how to help other people who are bound. Writing this book on anxiety and depression has been eating me up because with writing it, the feelings of anxiety and depression were trying to come on me. So I'm asking God, like, what's going on? I'm writing this book and the devil's telling me, what you know, you still struggle with anxiety, depression. You're an overthinker. You second guess everything that you do. You overanalyze. I'm having all this warfare in my mind while writing the book. And God came to me when I was writing it and he said, Jamie, anytime you've won, anytime you have conquered in an area where you used to be bound, the devil always tries to reinsert himself to convince you that you are not free, to convince you that you're still bound, to get you to stop what you're doing. So God told me that last night because I have been struggling. So yeah, God told me this as I'm writing this. So I decided, since I have been having such a hard time with writing this book and finishing this book, because it started off like, oh, I'm going to help with anxiety and depression. I'm going to make it J. Cole coded. Like, it's going to be super cute for the kids in Fayetteville. And it has been so tough getting it out, pulling from that place. I have been being attacked. So because I have been attacked in my mind with writing this, when Middle Child is launched, I'm giving it away for free. I'm still going to have it on Amazon to purchase, but you heard it here first. And I'm going to be putting it on my social media. It's on Amazon to purchase to support what we're doing for kids in Fayetteville. But if you want the copy, hit me up and I'll mail it to you for free because he doesn't want it to get out. You know, this is something I struggle with. So I'm going to actually spill the tea on what I've been talking about in the book. So with anxiety and depression, Middle Child, just talking about emotional well-being, what I'm teaching my kids and what I've been teaching them in Fayetteville is that it starts off with a lie. So how I'm describing the devil in the book, I'm describing him as a lie. What I've learned with anxiety and depression and what in the mental health arena describes as like attachment disorders. It's not really a person that you mourn or a decision that you mourn. You're really mourning the lie. So God has been talking to me about strongholds. So before we get super deep, it always enters in as a lie. What the devil will do, he will infiltrate himself. It could be in the moment of something traumatic, something happens to you. it usually happens when you're young. And he'll come in and he'll get you sold on a lie. It's so subtle. And you'll start to believe the lie. When you're a kid and you're going through life and something traumatic happens, it could be something as small as you got left behind in grade. Your parents got divorced. You were physically abused. You were bullied. Whatever your pain, when pain was entered into your life young, so is the lie. And what happens, because your defenses are down, you're young, you haven't really built up spiritual weight with God. When that lie comes in, it's very subtle. It comes in for you to come into agreement with it. And what happens is when you come into agreement with the lie, you start to build your life on the lie. That's how strongholds are built. It's always a lie. It's a lie that's formed. And so God is very gentle. So we're going through life. We're making decisions. We don't even know why we're making certain decisions that we're making. So let's just say, for instance, because I'm going to spill my tea. I tell my story. I have no shame with my story. So everybody knows my health story. You know the story you don't ever hear me talk about? You don't never hear me talk about a husband. You don't never hear me go into details about it. The reason why I don't, so God came to me. I believe it's something crazy, right? So God came to me about this spouse, about my husband. It's very out of the box. If somebody knew what I was believing for, y'all would put me in a mental institution. So this year, I was thinking to myself, I don't have to get nothing big. I can just get me somebody regular. Like, I just want me somebody down the street. Like, I really don't have to believe this big. I kind of reduced my believing down to medical. I just really need somebody to partner with me to give birth to children. It really doesn't matter what he does. Like, I got God with me. God can transform any situation. Like, I'm not really pressed on no man. So this year, I was on the path to choose normalcy, choose what God did not tell me, because I'm like, at this point, it don't matter. So, the Lord let me do my little thing, and God came to me. He said, Jamie, let me tell you what you struggle with. You struggle with worthiness. He said, you do not come to me about certain things. He said, I have been trying to get certain things to you and you will not receive them. You forfeit my blessings that I have for you. He said, because you don't feel worthy. He said, you keep trying to earn and receive and work for or manufacture things. And then you want me to bless it, but it's because you don't want to really receive what I have for you. So me and God have been having this conversation for about almost 6 months now. You struggle with worthiness. You struggle with, you're forfeiting what I have for you because you don't think you're worthy for it. You don't think that you're deserving for it. You're not receiving this because you know how to pray. You're not receiving this based on decisions. You're receiving this because this is what I want for you. God was like, you can make any decision that you want. I'm going to back it because it's you. He said, but this is the standard that I want for you. You keep going beneath my standard because you don't feel that you're worthy of it. What? This is what God was telling me. And he pretty much, that's why you have to walk with God. He has to reveal things to you because he's not going to tell you everything in one sitting. It's a journey and you have to unpack it. And truth comes to cut. It hurts. It stings. And I didn't know that. I felt that way. And sometimes God will allow certain things to happen in your life so you can see you. You can't see you. We can't see our faults and our deficiencies and where we come short. Sometimes God will allow certain things to happen so he can tell you, like, this is why you made that decision. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all, this year I was really struggling with, I told God, like, I don't think you should bet on me with this. I'm going to live a normal life. I'm blessed. I'm so cute. I'm kidding. I'm not a cocky person. But if you saw them health reports, the report don't match the face, baby. So I'm like, I think I'm going to just do a regular life, get me a cute little house, get me a little basic little husband, get me a little IT salesman. Baby, I'll be fine. I'll take that and bless it and have my kids and move on. And I was starting to that's just where I was at. It wasn't the warfare. It's just God would come to me. Why are you not getting prepared for what I told you? It's because that was the issue with receiving. not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy for what God has for me. And me and God have been having this conversation for 6 months. That's why I tell people to go to church, because you can hear from him on a corporate level. And I'm like, what is this? Why do I feel this way? Why do I keep forfeiting what you have for me? Where is this coming from? Why can't I receive when it comes to a great man? Why do I keep going beneath what you have for me? What does that mean? Where does that come from? So God told me, I'm going to talk to you about strongholds. So I'm like, okay, God's talking to me about strongholds. What is a stronghold? Strongholds don't happen overnight. Let me tell you about a lie, and let me tell you about a stronghold. So a lie is the devil keeps putting lies in your head. You're resisting the lie. When the devil puts a lie in your mind, and you come into agreement with the lie, and then you start to live your life and make decisions based on that lie, it now becomes a stronghold. And God really can't reveal himself like he wants to with you, because you're filtering everything through that stronghold. So one of the lies the devil let me think, hold on, because he tells me a lot of lies. I'm trying to think what exactly is my stronghold was worthiness. Notice I said was worthiness. My stronghold was, you cannot rely solely on love. You're going to need somebody that's sold on you based on what you can do, because love only goes so far. So I would start to live my life based on that. Now, let me say a few things. I have never been a pick-me. I ain't never been no pick-me. I'm just being real. What the purpose God has for me, I'm only doing it as a wife. I'm not having children as a girlfriend. I'm not having children as a fiance. I'm not going to the bank to have a child by myself. I'm not manufacturing a man just to prove that God is a healer and he will maneuver through this broken body. I'm not doing that. I don't have ego when it comes to faith. I will wait this thing out. So it's required that I'm married for me. Now, the promise on my life would still reproduce even if I wasn't married. That's a whole nother conversation me and God had. But nonetheless, I built my worth and my identity based on what I can do and provide for someone. I felt like love was not going to be enough. The lie that the devil, because it's not my lie, the lie that the devil used to tell me that grew on me, that started to evolve, was you cannot rely on a man. Love only goes so far. So you need to have your own money. You need to have your own house. You need to have your own career. You cannot rely on him 100%. He don't really have to be a provider like that. Have your own money. Have your empire. If he's consistent, if he's consistent, if he shows up, that is enough. So I used to live my life like that. I don't require a lot. I'm not out here dating. I don't have no man. I don't have no man by choice. By choice. So I did not believe love was enough. Now, I have medical that I'm going against. So I'm looking at this through a transactional standpoint. Like, not only do I need somebody that, I'm thinking bump love. I need somebody sold. Notice the verbiage, my language I used to say. I need somebody that's sold on me. I never said love. I need somebody that's going to love me. I never thought love would be enough, because I've seen love. It's very vulnerable. It's blind. I was like, I don't know about no love. I need to be with somebody for purpose. I need somebody sold on me. So I believe this lie that love was not enough. I would have to bring something into it. So what I would do, I built this identity and my empire and working in this and that. Like, that would be enough. Like, okay, even if the love go out the way, he ain't gonna back out because of the type of life I have. So that's why I built my identity into work. I did not believe that love would be enough. So as I had this mentality, my mentality was, I just need somebody to partner with me who's willing to walk with me with my medical. That's at least 6'4". And God was like, tap me on my shoulder. Jamie, that's not going to be enough. Jamie, that's not what I called you for. Jamie, you cannot choose somebody on these individual reasons. You cannot choose somebody based on brokenness. And I couldn't understand why God would have to wrestle me with this. Why am I having a hard time just receiving what he has for me versus just saying, I just need this, I just need that. I couldn't understand, like, why is this mentality, this thought process so strong. God visits me. The physical manifestation of God shows up. God's healed my body. God has done incredible. The reason why I can walk around with these diagnoses and not have a panic attack is because God has already shown me how he moves in my body. So I'm not nervous. Every time I go into the doctor's office, they're nervous. It don't matter what it is. They're like, yeah, we saw your file. We just want to keep you just to make sure. No, ain't no make sure. God has me. But why? I kept thinking, why do I struggle in this one area? Where is this coming from? It's because I had a stronghold. A stronghold is when the devil plants a lie and then you start to build a life on that lie, and then you'll see the lie evolve. And when God comes through, you still filter everything through that stronghold. It's pretty much a fortress of lies in your mind that the devil comes in and he plants them. So God was like, I'm going to help you with this. You struggle with worthiness. You do not feel that you're worthy for what I have for you. You keep trying to earn what I already gave you. So it was so cute. I'm going to tell y'all another stronghold I have with church, honey, because that's another one that's getting broken. But it was so cute. Because I'm a part of so many ministry partners, I get a little overwhelmed. I have meetings once a week. I'm messing with this partner. I have this partner over here. I have a meeting with Pastor Teenie Jakes at the end of the month. I get overwhelmed sometimes because it's so much, like, I get overwhelmed in it. So I go to church on Sunday. God's like, this is just for your personal faith. This is not for ministry. By the time I get to church, or by the time Sunday rolls around, I don't feel like going to church because I feel like I already done learned everything. I don't need to go on Sunday. So I finally went Sunday. I've been chilling at the river. I've been chilling at the crib streaming. I go to the river in Durham. I've been chilling at the crib streaming. I'm like, I don't feel like going right now. I'm going to just stream. So I finally got up and went Sunday. It was a good service. It's always a great service. Towards the end of the service, young girls went to the altar call, and the pastor goes, I want women to come down here to pray over them and help pray because they were having like a really hard time. So I'm like, oh, let me go down there and help pray. I'm making my way to help pray for these young girls. They're like teenagers, college age women. As soon as I was making my way down to the altar, this woman out of nowhere, this church lady, this cute saint out of nowhere, I'm walking up to the altar. She grabs me, gives me a hug, and she starts praying over me. And I could feel the presence of God. Child, I broke. And when I was crying, the Lord said, Jamie, this is just for your personal faith. I was walking to go intercede for someone else, and he had somebody intercede for me. And when she was hugging me and she was praying over me, God showed up and he was just telling me, I am removing the stronghold. Strongholds have to be cut out. So what I'm doing with this anxiety and depression, when I'm writing for children, it has really given me revelation on how far these lies go when you don't confront them. You cannot conquer something if you haven't confronted, and God goes all the way down to the root. So anytime you see yourself in a situation, or you just see somebody else in a situation, you're like, why is she tripping off that? Why is she bound by that? Why is she dating him? Why she don't do more in her career? It's usually a belief system that has been built in their mind that God is trying to penetrate through. So I encourage you, no matter where you're at in your journey, where you are, wherever you're at in life, to always having a relationship with God, because you cannot do any of this without him, anything without him. And even being a believer, even building a church, even being a pastor, even being a prophet, an intercessor, or whatever it is that you do, you still have strongholds on the inside of you, because God knows us. God knows that, when we rock with him, he's going to reveal it. He's a gentleman. He's soft. But there's a lot of things God wants to do for us, and we forfeit it. I was like that. I forfeited. I don't really need that car. I forfeited. God said, stop only receiving things from me that you feel like that you've earned. He said, there's things that I'm doing for you just because of who you are. There's no faith journey for it. I'm doing this because this is what you want. Love God because he's gentle and he stays on me. This is my standard for you. This is my standard of living. This is my standard of this. I don't want you beneath the standard. And anytime I go a little bit under it, the God's like, Jamie, we went over this. Let's get you back on your standard, And the thing I like about the Lord too, there's no shame. you may experience the shame, but he doesn't make you feel bad. He's just like, Jamie, this is why you make this decision. That's why I say I don't care about rules. I don't care about rules. I don't care about behavior. Rules have no sovereignty. If you're following God just based on the rules, you're going to miss the spirit of who God is. People follow God's law and there's nothing wrong with it. People follow God's systems. There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm telling you, when you follow the heart of God and the spirit of the law, that's where you get your deliverance, because he will show you why you make the decisions you make. I was doing dumb stuff this year, if I'm being honest. And I was like, you know what, Lord, you're going to have to really find somebody else because I'm just not enough for this. And God said, let's walk on this path on why you make you still struggle with worthiness. God will lead you. You can't lead yourself. So that's all I want to say. I hope you got something from it, because people keep calling me. No shade. I always answer phone calls, but I wanted to post something today. Please support God Sees You. It's a cute workbook. We are doing middle child, and I'm giving away middle child for free. It will be on Amazon to purchase, but I'm giving the book away for free because this one has more warfare with it, for me at least. See, God Sees You, God being your dad, that's easy for me to type up. The warfare with God, because there was warfare with God Sees You. I don't want to say that. The warfare with God Sees You more was on the formatting. It kept getting rejected. The imaging kept getting rejected. It took 2 weeks longer than anticipated. But to draft it, I struggled with finishing it, but nowhere near middle child. So thank you for listening. I hope you got something from it, and stay cute. Talk to you later. I'm going to talk more about strongholds, but time will not allow today. Maybe tomorrow. People keep blowing my phone up. So support teeniechurch.org. I'm building something super cute. I'm just a pastor girly trying to figure this thing out with God and my kids. I'm probably never going to get to the place where it's figured out, but it's so cute doing stuff with God because he shows you stuff along the way. But be cute. See you later.